Hi! So we're back with a match ramble, but I had to do a separate match ramble about this match. We're talking about Darby Allin in his first AEW Men's World title defense against Tommaso Ciampa on Dynamite on the 22nd of April, 2026. I done my recent Dynamite review, thoughts, whatever. Jesus Christ. Had to do a separate video. Had to. It's that good. It's that good of a match. If you've not seen the hype about it, I mean, Jesus. Oh my God. Like, I'll get into it, but Jesus, I just want to make it clear as well. I'm not going to be going over, the promo with MJF before it and what happens with Brody King after it. I'm not going to go over that. If you want any thoughts on that, I've got my Dynamite video out there, so by all means, go watch that. So, the match starts up, and when the match starts up, I mean the pace, the absolute intensity it sets from the get-go is absolutely incredible. There's no letting up. I mean, the main thing is people are talking about here is how just brilliant Ciampa is, and by all means we've got to really acknowledge that now, because Tommaso Ciampa has done everything perfect. There's very little things Ciampa's done wrong at all in AEW since he's joined. It's been one of the better signings. This is one of the best matches in Dynamite's history, in my opinion. It's one of Darby's best ever matches. It's one of Ciampa's best ever matches. It's just a classic. And a lot of that goes to Ciampa's aggression with this character already. This is the match where you watch him and you're like, yeah, you are what you describe yourself as, the Psycho Killer. Jesus, the strikes, the knees in this match by Ciampa alone. And we'll talk about some of the fucking gnarly spots later, because Jesus Christ. But just, you can tell from the instant get-go that the intensity of the match was just going, even just from a lock-up. And it sounds stupid, but it's true. It really shows the entire just pace of the match going from go. It's excellent. Darby's obviously brilliant at selling and, underdog this type of deal. And he just really plays it up. And against someone like Ciampa, who's just so determined, so gritty, so feral, to go for it is excellent. It really was an excellent matchup. Honestly, you watch it and you're like, yeah, this was perfect. This is the exact way to go for this. And it really is. What I really enjoy, obviously, some of the spots, I mean, the main spots, obviously the Psycho Driller, but Jesus, we've got more to talk about. The coffin drops Darby does, even from the get-go. I mean, the height he gets on those coffin drops has always been nuts, but Jesus, it just sets it up. It's just like, it's a very Darby Allin match, if that makes sense. It really is, in the sense of, it's just wild. It's let's go for broke, like it's the last match we have on Earth. And if that's what Darby's reign's going to be, which I think it will be, if this is his first title defense, it's a very high standard to set. And it's a very high, expectation of every other match, because this match is a classic, and you're going, with other matches. It's like, okay, how the hell do we do it? And, there's points in this match where you're like, is Ciampa going to take this here? You genuinely do debate it. It's nuts. And for a first title defense, that's very hard to sell. So I really commend them for that. Again, the coffin drop. The first major spot for the match for me is when... So, bear in mind, Ciampa's launching Darby into the barricades and stuff. There's a point where he's got him, he threw him out the ropes, and he's going the sarcastic clap. And he got, Darby's outside the ring, and his head's underneath the apron. And he just does the catapult, and Darby goes, fuck off. It really whacks Darby. It's excellent. Then Ciampa's Ciampa's basically throwing him about on the barricade. Ciampa throws him towards, the announcer's table. And then he goes for the knee. Darby dodges out the way, and Ciampa gets stuck on the barricade because he had the knee up. Then Darby goes up and basically does, I think it was a coffin drop, or just a little splash, essentially off that. And it takes Ciampa with him right through the timekeeper's table. And I think table spots are hard to sell in the sense of oh my God, that really changes the match. That really had that hard hitting, because they are so common. It really sells it. It's one of the best table spots I've seen in a while. And I love a table spot now and again, but I think they are overdone sometimes in wrestling. This was perfect. It really was. It's not like bringing it. I feel like when you bring a table out, it kind of sets an expectation. Having it be the timekeeper's table, not the announce keeper's table, but the timekeeper's table, is just so much more effective. After that point, they're both down. That's when you feel like, boom, there's magic here. That's what you really do. Ciampa's does a blade drop. I mean, Ciampa's blade drop here is absolutely impeccable. He gets it in. It's drooling. I mean, he's lying on the ground for a minute. And then there's just this pool of blood by Tony Schiavone at that point. It's like, Jesus Christ. It is insane. After this point, they get back in the ring. They're exchanging a few more blows. A lot more, a lot more strikes, a lot more knees, and again, Ciampa lands a few knees in here, and I really like how they affected that way, like, they're also heavy, and I didn't think they could sell that as well as they did, but they really managed to do it. And the main spot is, obviously, they're outside, and the Darby, well, basically, sorry, so Ciampa gets Darby, it's the main spot of the match, and Ciampa gets Darby, and Ciampa gets Darby on the top rope, and, well, Darby's kind of always trying to go for these coffin drops, and Ciampa keeps pushing the ropes, because Ciampa wants to get rid of him, essentially. And when he's doing that, there's a point where Darby's trying to do a Scorpion Deathlock to him in that point, and Ciampa, like, is holding onto the turnbuckle for dear life, and he basically lets go, and the turnbuckle goes flying. Bryce sees it, doesn't do nothing about it. Okay, not something else we'll talk about with Bryce later on in the match. And then, basically, you know, it's more the ropes. Ciampa keeps pushing him off him. And then when he does that, Darby is on the top rope, and then Ciampa pushes the rope, goes up, and does a Psycho Driller off the top turnbuckle towards the announce table. Fucking nuts. And bro, oh my god, I mean, the Psycho Drill is brutal anyway. He has Darby. Darby looks dead. And what's even worse is he doesn't even look like it gets the worst of it. It just looks like it's directly on Darby's head at this point. But Jesus, you can tell it crushes Ciampa's tailbone. Crushes it, like the reaction he sells out of it. He's like screaming in pain, like, oh my god, it was no selling that. It was genuine. You could tell that shit was real at the time. Ridiculous. Bryce is checking on Darby, and Ciampa's going, check me, and he's like, what are you doing? And he's like, check me, and it cuts and comes back. Ciampa's still in pain. This is where I love how he sold it, because like Bryce is like, do you want me to call the match? I'll call the match, you tell me. And he goes, no, like, it sells it. He's dripping with blood. The beard is dyed looking brown, like he's young again in NXT, just from the blood. His tailbone's destroyed, and he's doing that shit. Oh my god, it was excellent. After this one, because Darby's basically dead weight. He throws Darby in the ring, and he's trying to crawl back in the ring. This is what I really liked. They really sold the sell of the Psycho Driller, which they had to do. But then they also, doing that, made Ciampa look damaged as well, and it really sells Darby resilience and the move even more. Ciampa selling the impact of that move more, sells the move more. It's weird, because there's such a delay, because he keeps falling, trying to get back in the ring to get the pin on Darby. And because he takes that bit longer, Darby has that tiny bit of a reaction to put the foot on the rope. Very rare. And I thought that was excellent. I really did. I appreciated that. After that point, Ciampa's just having his way. At this point, he's just kneeing him, striking him. There's a point like he picks him up with his foot and then like starts striking him, and Darby, like, he strikes him, and then Darby goes back and he leans up and goes, ah! It's fucking peak. And then he continued to strike each other, having a striking off. Oh, this is brilliant. They're striking each other. And like Ciampa has obviously a much more effective strike than Darby. He's a bit more built, a bit more tall. Darby's like a twink. You know what I mean? And then they go for a crossbody against each other, because they're both running at the ropes, you know, trying to strike. And then they both have the same idea. Crossbody, boom. Right, both whack each other's heads. They sell that. Darby's in pain. Ciampa's hurt. Oh my god. Bro, it's incredible. It really is. And then the match further goes on. There's more of that stuff, essentially. One thing I love is towards the end, Jesus. So Darby goes for a coffin drop, and Ciampa's expecting it and gets him in the basic, you know, the fucking hold, the submission hold, and Darby manages to reverse it, because then when they're out of it, Darby's basically down, and Ciampa he's going to go for the Scorpion Deathlock, because Darby keeps kicking out, and he does these kickouts. Ciampa sells these kickouts brilliantly too, where he's like, he looks, and he's like, he goes like his hand, and then he goes like two, and he looks insane, which Ciampa's character is supposed to be that sort of wavering on, like, and it's very, very rare, it's very excellently done. So then Ciampa just looks at him, and like, you know, the looming threat of Ciampa chasing Darby, because there's a lot of points where Darby's dragging, you know, trying to like crawl away, and Ciampa's just staring at him. Ciampa sells the visuals 10 out of 10. That's a guy whose suit's being bleeding. Phenomenal. And then he goes for the Scorpion Deathlock, and then Darby reverses it, goes for the roll up, the end up reversing it, and then Darby goes for his Scorpion Deathlock, and it's putting Ciampa through hell. I mean, Ciampa's screaming, he's trying to crawl through the ropes, Darby's dragging him, and this is the other bit where I wanted to say, this was a bit of like I'm not one of those guys who's like decision-wise, but there's a point where, because Darby's trying to move so they can obviously get the camera angle of the finish, essentially, and when he does that, he grabs the rope, and I'm like, are you going to disqualify that? I think Bryce sees it, but whatever, that's me being a wrestling nerd. Shock. And then when Darby gets it, it's proper instant. Ciampa's fucking tapping, and that's the match. And the crowd are all on their feet at this point. I mean, It's for a first title defense at any match on Dynamite. And bear in mind, Dynamite's got some of the some of my favorite matches ever are on Dynamite. It really is. You got Ospreay versus Max. You got Ospreay versus Darby. Shit like that. It's up there. It's fucking up there. The intensity. This is only like a 15 to 20 minute match, and the amount of shit they cram into it, while making it feel overstuffed. They pace it excellently. The visuals are all there. It's impeccable. It really is. It proves how good Ciampa is. Like Darby, we all know Darby's great. It's just Darby's a very specific type of wrestler. A guy like Ciampa's perfect to showcase that as well. Ciampa doesn't. Oh my god, honestly, a lot of it should go. I feel like a lot of it will go to Ciampa, as it should, frankly. But I feel like a lot of people will be kind of ignoring Darby here. Darby sells all this excellently too, but Ciampa, I mean, Jesus, everything he does here seems masterful. There's a reason he's this good. The reason he's come in. Keep him in the main event picture. I don't give a fuck, bro. This is so good. After the match, they're both distraught. There's just a pool of blood in the ring. The mat is absolutely just covered in blood. And then there's a shot where they're both lying there. Oh, it's brilliant. And then Ciampa's sitting there looking like dishevelled. And then Darby comes out, puts the arm out, shake each other. Ciampa puts the belt on Darby, which I really liked. Shakes hands and walks off. And then the Brody King comes in, and then, that whole happens. If you could not tell, I adore this match. I thought it was absolutely spectacular. I thought it was a classic. I'm not one of those people to call things perfect, because not everything's perfect. But it's one of those matches where every single thing it set out to do, it delivered. And if that's considered perfect to some of you, there you go. But to me, it's not considered perfect. It's just considered masterful. It's considered realised. It's considered... again, masterful, not perfecto, but these high compliments. That's this match, and again, it's one of the matches of the year already. It's going to take some fucking beating to get this. It really is. It really is going to take a lot to fucking beat this. Everything about Ciampa, everything about Darby, everything about the crowd, the intensity, the match, the hard hit, and the nature, the knees. The knee strikes Ciampa gives them don't look easy either, and they're selling them great, and it's just, oh my god. One thing I forgot to mention this when Ciampa goes for the Scorpion Deathlock himself, he stops because he has to wipe the blood out of his eyes, and that's how Darby reverses it. That's excellent. That shit's peak. The fact that the blood affects him something small, that makes a championship match. That makes Darby look strong and also makes Ciampa look strong. It's excellent. It really fucking is. It's masterful. It's one of the best matches they've done all year, by a mile, and it's on Dynamite for nothing. If you've not watched this match, I mean, Jesus Christ, I don't know what else I have to say. Watch the thing. Ciampa's a master. Darby's title reign, I'm all in on it now. I don't give a fuck. I'm all in on this shit. This and that hype package they showed on Dynamite, it makes me, I'm all in for it. I don't want this shit to end already. If it's anything to go after that, Brody, I don't want to mention it too much. Brody comes out and asks Darby for the match to confirm it. Darby versus Brody next week, and they've got a massive history. Darby and Brody's matches together are excellent. They have wars. They really get each other. And Brody's a great wrestler too. There's very little chance they're topping that. Very little chance. That match was masterful. If you've watched it, you know it. If you haven't, I mean, Jesus, it's incredible. It's a classic. It's one of the best matches of the year. I can't say that enough, but Jesus, what a way to stack Dynamite too. Well worth the wait. And whatever you do with Ciampa, the guy, oh my god, Tommaso Ciampa, what a wrestler. Honestly, one of the best wrestlers in the company, and I cannot believe that. It's so nice to see. It really is. And the guy just delivers. What a fucking worker. Honestly, what a match, what a worker. Everything phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Darby versus Ciampa this week on Dynamite. What did you think of the show? Obviously, if you want to know my thoughts on the entire show, my other videos out there. But this match, I mean, it had to have its own video. It's that good. Very little matches that are topping that next couple of weeks. That was excellent.